Hello wonderful people, and welcome to another video. Today we are painting something that is really not my usual style, I would say. And it will be a reason why I want to talk about style with you. Why am I painting this? It's because a friend of mine, Marie, has started a challenge of paint it in your style. And yeah, I just said it's not my style, but it kind of is, because it's my hand painting it. Well, and a friend started a challenge of paint it in your style on Instagram. I will link it down below. She's living in Germany as well. She makes amazing illustrations in watercolor as well as digitally. She sells stickers and it's very, very pretty. I have some of her stickers already. I've actually showed it in the sketchbook tour. And she gave some prompts. These were photos that I will show you in the video as well. She gave me the permission to show them to you. And if you want to participate in this challenge, in this giveaway, you are free to do so. There's still time. It will end on April 23rd, I think. Yeah. So check it out. I will link the post so you have all the info you need if you want to participate, and if not, just take a look at her art. It's amazing. She posted these photos, and first I thought, wow, that's cool. That's pretty cool, and I liked how they look. And for me, I really love to look at art, even though it's not the style that I personally will paint in. As you know, most of my art is nature, animals, etc. Very rarely I do paint landscapes. I do paint plants, but I almost never paint people. Why though? And I've had this idea in my mind to talk about style and choices for a while. And I know it's a very sensitive topic to most. So, yeah, I wanted to try. This is purely my own opinion. So, and we're free to discuss it in the comments. So, when it comes to style, some of you may know my artistic background, as I'm not trained artist. I didn't study art, but my mother did. Kind of. Well, my mother was a great artist. She does realistic art, or did it when I was younger. And when I started to paint and draw, it had to be realistic. It had to be strict. I learned the techniques. She was a very strict teacher, always criticizing, but it led to improvement, of course. So what I did for years when I started to do art in my teen years as a child, I painted realistically. It was rarely plants back then, but it was mostly people. So I kind of have a training of painting or drawing realistic people. Back then I used mostly charcoal and pencils because I don't know why, but it's what I was drawn to. I used acrylics for a while too, before I just went into watercolor. So this is my background. Back then I didn't paint animals at all because they didn't seem as interesting to me personally. That's something that I started to do with watercolor, because when I grew up and became an adult, I somehow found animals very interesting. I like how they look. I liked it back then too. Like, I always loved animals, but I found it so difficult to paint fur and feather, etc., that I wanted to train that and practice that I was just obsessed with painting animals, as well as just getting the message across that this is something we have to be aware that it exists, and because of the climate change, etc., and animals going extinct. And this is something very important to me. That's why I had or still have kind of the series of endangered animals on the channel. So, how did I choose the style that I'm painting in? Well, I kind of didn't, because the style that I've had came from practice. It came from years of practice, from using techniques that I like, from trying things out, from always adjusting, and my style changes. And I believe every style changes a bit over decades, because it may not change like from painting to painting, but every artist tries out new things. How can you know that you won't like the look of something better if you never tried it in a painting, right? You also may try something and don't like it. Then you leave it, then you know. So I think the artistic process is something that we grow with, and that is something that is just something beautiful, and it's a process of learning and trying out and being creative with the supplies you have, with a combination of supplies you have. And I'm personally not a big fan of being very strict, because I add white gouache if I want to. I am free to combine watercolor and gouache, and probably won't call it mixed media. And there are people who don't like it in their art, and that's fine, because every artist is free to express themselves in the way they want to express themselves. Like, there's freedom in art, right? But it's also something that I wouldn't make a rule for others. Like, if I don't like something in my art, if I don't like certain color choices or techniques or something that just doesn't work for me, yeah, I don't like it in my art, but it's not a rule I will make for others, because what? I'm not the art police. I still very much enjoy well-chosen techniques in paintings of others. And there's so much art that I do just enjoy to look at. It may be comics, it may be realism, it may be very abstract, it may be just a play with colors or shadows or structures, and this is something I really enjoy looking at and just participating in this art by looking at it, by be the consumer of this art, not the creator, because some art just doesn't work for me as an artist, and that's fine. So, thinking of a style, when I was younger, I thought not only that a style, well, I actually never thought a style for myself is important. I just thought, you got to learn how this works. You have to learn how you are able to draw that. You have to learn the techniques. And that's what my style grew from. So when I was younger, I thought, being trained as an artist, that style is a choice. Like, when you can do anything, when you're trained properly, you choose a style and that's what you paint. Yes, but also no. Style is a choice, but there are also some styles that we can't, or just that we can't copy, or are able to copy in just such a difficult way. Just imagine, there is, and I'm not sure how to pronounce it, because, as you know, English is not my native language, naive art. And it's a very controversial topic, because many don't see it as art. I do. And the thing is, it's so difficult to copy, while the shapes may be very simple because these are not trained artists. They have a unique choice of colors and mixes and how they translate what they see or what they have on their minds into something visual. And it's just so unique. And I'm so in love with this, while it's incredibly difficult to copy that style if you're a trained artist. And it might sound so weird, but it's really true. So, when realizing that style and naive art is for sure, like for real, a style that I love. So when realizing that, I thought that style is not only a choice that you make. Like, you can do anything you want, and then you choose to do only this. No, that it's just more. It's for a part of choice for sure, but it's also experience and also the urge to just be able to communicate something that you might see in front of your inner eye to others. And whether you have the tools or skills to do that or not, that's an urge, and it's going to be communicated somehow. And if it's done well, if someone's very passionate about it, they will communicate it, and that's something I think is beautiful. So there was a big discussion about style on YouTube, and I really think that having a certain style in like painting something like similar topics or in a similar way consciously is just a wrong way to go with it. A style must be more of, or has to be, in my opinion, more of a kind of a communication, a way to communicate through visual tools that we have. And then I think we are more free as artists to really and truly show what is on our minds and what we want others to see. I hope I wasn't too confusing in this video, but it was something that was on my mind for a long time, and that's something that I was just a bit passionate to talk about while painting this very out of order painting for me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you soon. Bye!